trust you with Marcus.
You just broke his legs, and you're saying that I'm the bad
break
one
his
here.
legs. Yes, you are. Shoot.
I think I
shoot.
twisted something.
He's fine. You're fine. You're fine. I'm sure it is just a dislocated ankle. It is fine. You step away right now. Yeah, thank you.
May I remind you, when you punched me, you almost killed me.
Let me have a look at this. Oh no. Oh no, no, no. Sorry, Marcus. I'm sorry. It'll be easier like this.
No.
No. Wait until the
You're right. This is time for a scalpel. Hammer, scalpel. Alright? I'm gonna fix your mistake.
Kyler.
I love your commitment. I
Look
love
at
it.
this.
Ooh, that's
Look
cute.
at this. There you go.
Wait, what's this? Oh, this is cute. This is well done. I like this. Wait, this is really good, yes.
Yeah.
Wow.
Thank you.
So-
Thank you.
Me.
So, how was the jog before I tripped you? Yeah.
What is wrong with you?
I thought I was being helpful. And I was aiming to trick the halfling.
If you want to be helpful, put this over your head like a dunce cap.
I have time now. Come with me.
Okay. Well.
I survived
Do you
Ambershire.
Did you?
I survived Oakenbrook. I can survive you.
We should put that on a shirt. Soma,
Please, I tripped him.
we're gonna have to put him down, Soma.
Wait, is this the... What? Wait. Wait, was this the injury that you were telling me about?
Oh god.
What?
He
Marcus!
was running, and I tripped him, accidentally trying to trip him.
So,
You
well, what?
He was running full tilt, and she tripped him.
This man was running full tilt.
And she fucking put her foot out
Sorry.
and tripped him. I'm pretty sure he bounced off the wall there.
Does that?
Well, I mean, Marcus, I'll tell you one thing.
Yeah.
Well, Marcus, I can tell you one thing right now. If it's any consolation, I think you deserve it after putting all that fat on Baylor.
Okay.
Oh, excuse me.
Oh, damn. That's a lot of Royal Guard. Are they going to the blacksmith?
I don't know. I
Don't
don't
worry
ask.
about it. It's the Royal Guard. Don't question it.
What?
So, again, if it's any consolation, you did deserve it after.
To find the true case of lemons.
Go quick! Wait.
Alright. Shoot. Stun mace.
Will it take long?
Kyler grabs you.
Oh, my
I've been
sideburns!
told down the grapevine of what you.
The fuck is that?
It's a League 6 Beyond. Anyway, group of royal guards just went on to
We are going to put it, though,
the blacksmith they're looking for.
No.
church, if that's okay.
Jensen!
It's small. And it's free
Isn't
of
this
charge as well. Don't worry
supposed to be
about
handled by Osgood?
any payments. But thank you for the.
I believe it's his doing.
Osgood doesn't like royal guards.
Your doing your deed. We probably should
Well,
be
do you
having
know
this
where he is?
No. That's what I'm worried about. I'm just worried under whose authority they're doing this with, whether it's Osgood's or Forgreth's.
I don't know. At this point, I would hope it would be Osgood's. Yes.
A word, please.
We'll whisper to you. Do you know where the blacksmith is?
Last I saw, he walked up towards the scriber.
Thank you. Our face.
walking down the road.
Ah, yes, hello.
Necessary for the men who do such dangerous jobs.
Oh, you know who this is?
On the other thing, but as far as the first project,
Didn't mean to
I think we
scare
got an idea
you.
what
Beg
we're
your
gonna do.
Who it's from?
At one point, get in
So
there, tear
much
down the building, and then
metal.
build
What's
a new
that
building
thing
on
on
top
his
of it.
hat?
I would say not to worry, lad.
True.
I mean, there's a crush code, so he's probably
But we
useful.
could probably use some protection.
Or if you can
It's a
serve
big
the
sword,
people
what?
that
Hmm.
that we live
Okay, no worries for me, Captain. I'm just gonna.
Now tell me about that thing you have there.
It's a Leaksbackbjorn. Leaksbackbjorn. It's a bjorning thing. As Yer says, I'm holding on to it. I think she used it to distract me from something. I don't remember what she was trying to distract me from, though.
Oh, it's
Silver.
Well, stare into its eyes a little bit more.
Make it a bit more functional
Hey, are those royal guards were looking for the blacksmith. Do you know where he is?
Nope.
Big ol'
Oh,
stick
okay.
for you.
Okay.
I would take the time to make a proper crutch, but I figured you just wanted something to lean on.
Well, the point of the crutch is so I'm able to put it under my arm, and then
What is that?
use that weight
It's
to...
It's going to take me a
Leaksbackbjorn.
long time to make the clutch, so if you want to sit and I
Do you
can
need
make
me
it,
to help you make it?
you...
I can help. I'm a generalist of Adwick. I can help anyone do anything.
Looks like fun. Should I try it?
Alright,
Let's
that's
go
fair.
do that. Let's go do that.
Let's go do
I'll
that.
even pay
Yeah,
for it.
let's-
Y'all pay for it.
And then you go,
No, 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 no.
yeah,
No,
no,
no.
no, no.
And
Can I carry you there, please? Please, please don't.
No, careful, careful, careful. Don't break it. It's very important. It's a very important bjorning thing.
If you can promise me.
I'm only holding it for Yasuo.
is it food?
No, it's wood.
Nope. Nope.
This is fine if I'm somewhere around it.
There goes my hero.
Ah, was he the one that stitched you back up from Oakenbrook?
No.
Oh, wait a minute, was that yes, sir?
I was stitched up, but I wasn't stitched up by an actual medical person. I was kind of luckily thrown back together. He pulls down his shirt and you just see the massive wound, a gunshot wound in his chest.
Must have been from a big shot from a night killer.
Yeah, I went right out the back. Straight in, straight out.
I bet. Damn. Ah, there he is. By the way, On was looking for you. Don't know exactly where he is now, because the Royal Guard's actually looking for him now.
Yes, they found him.
Where
They're
is he?
taking him to the castle to talk to him.
Talk about what? About his efforts for Oakenbrook?
Maybe it's a debriefing. Who knows?
Could be. You said you wanted me for something.
Yes, I wanted to ask if I could continue to train under you. Your training helped save a lot of lives. Yesterday and all last week.
I'll do what I can. If you're able to make use of what you could do under the training, then I will have a second lesson for you. And for Cade, if he doesn't fucking hurt himself like he did last time.
Right.
I'll try and see if I can get with Martino about that as well. After everything that has been going on, I'll do what most of I can.
Apparently he was taken up to the castle.
What's wrong with you?
I needed to have it.
I don't know nothing about that.
I'm homeless. Just a homeless vagabond, you see.
Homeless vagabond. You and I might be similar in that respect, but even a homeless vagabond deserves a shirt over their back. Come on, then. What's your name?
Mirren.
Evening, Kyler.
Not gonna ask.
Empire. Yeah, everyone's exhausted, and we're able to find a.
It's okay. I don't share that one.
Oh? It's taking you just as long to step over that as it would to be walk. Oh, you have it still.
Of course, I would never let it go. I know how important it is to you, Yasa. Wouldn't be so stupid as to drop something like this. Ah, fuck! Ah!
You fucking
Ah! Why was your leg out like that? Ah!
Please stop hurting each other.
Ah, yes, the wounded man has his leg out resting, really.
Putting this back.
Oh, I'm the asshole.
Yeah.
I see.
Yeah. Just walking. Put your fucking foot out in front of me. Who would do such a thing? Who would put their foot out in front of someone while they're walking and or running and trip them up? Who would do that?
Uh-huh. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. You want to say it some more?
No.
Uh-huh. I still have the really good wine at my home.
You know, we might need it, actually. I just got arrested by Royal Knights.
Mm-hmm.
If nothing else, Kyler, it's good to see you.
It's good to see you too, Marcus. I actually got into contact with someone, and they said that you were a person I could trust.
I know them?
You might know of them. Certain Byron. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay. I don't know if you know roughly
It's
where
good to hear.
they are now.
I have an idea.
Apparently they're heading up north.
Never too far away.
Just to let you know.
It was good to see them. Even for a small. It was good.
Don't worry. They stay strong.
Thank you. Yeah. Stronger than ever.
I'm gonna go walk along and not put my foot out in front of innocent people walking by. Because I'm not a fucking asshole.
No wine for you.
You should do the well around that area.
I am a little thirsty.
Alexis is there if you wanted to talk to her.
Okay. What's the... Do we have a play yet for what I was talking to you about?
I'll be back.
I don't... I kind of was just following Osgood for a moment. I know you didn't want me to be involved in all that, so I just thought I'd let you know.
Okay. Thank you, Mirren.
Right. Of course.
Dampe?
Hello, Kylo.
Mr. Kyler.
Hmm.
How are you liking the forge?
It's alright, I guess.
The fuck?
Little shoddy.
You wanted it more space. What? Little. Johnny.
I'm kidding. Thank you. I appreciate it.
No issue.
Say the well. He said the well, didn't he? Okay. I misjudged streets, such. Is it this well or the other well? You never said which one. The marketplace. I fucking...
I mean, she's not wrong.
She's gonna get herself killed.
She hasn't yet. Look, I'm feeling it myself.
She fucking vanished! Where the fuck did she go?
Very well. I shall check the iron wolves. Thank you so much.
I am glad you are okay.
You could probably see through the V, but pulls it down. Right there.
Wait,
What?
this
I've
is
learned a
already
lesson.
a dumb thing.
There's no misconstruing it. You admitted that there's no. What? Huh?
The way that I said it comes out.
Kyler, great flavored elf.
Stop talking to him. Focus on me.
What? Kyler!
I'm trying to have a conversation.
Looking for someone.
He's looking for someone.
I heard
I've
that.
seen plenty of
Listen,
someone's. Who are you looking for?
You hurt my feelings. I'm
Young blonde girl.
Up to you. The hurt
Young blonde girl just went into
Tyler,
church.
who are you looking
Fuck.
for?
The bucket.
Yep, that's the one. Thank you.
Yeah, there's a blonde girl. That way.
Mhm.
She's cute.
She was quite cute. I think.
There's some people inside being respects of yours.
Yeah. Glad to see you're okay, Commander.
They tried, but I'm alive, You as well, soldier.
I take it, well, you were responsible for his capture and not a certain other person? Just to put my mind at ease.
As I told you, obviously I am a loyal man. Everything I find, I report to the Crown. That was under orders of the Crown and not my own.
Okay.
If I find anything out, I'll let you know.
I appreciate it, sir. Thank you.
Speak of the devil.
And he appears.
Here I am.
Uh-huh. Puts his sword away. I'm glad you're okay. I didn't know
you were
if you...
looking for me?
I saw you around. I wanted to make sure everything was okay.
I'm fine. How are you doing? You don't look too well.
Haven't been sleeping much. You know how it is. I was at Oakenbrook. I don't know if you were
I understand.
conscripted or not. But
I did help a little bit. I was aiding the flanks, mainly with medical. Didn't really do any frontline work or anything.
good. I wouldn't
Were
want you
you?
to be there.
In the center?
In the city, yeah.
God. Then you were in the thick of it, weren't you?
I usually am.
Fair enough. Seems like every one of those people from Letford were always in the thick of things. You guys don't learn your lesson, do you? You keep on pushing.
It's not usually up
Pushing
to
your
us. Trouble usually finds us.
Fair enough. Guess that's how things are.
I heard you were whipped.
Well, yes, I'm fine, really. It was my own choice.
He shouldn't have asked you to do
I know
that.
we weren't all... I was just trying to do what my sister would have done. She was always fighting hard for those she cared about. Just wanted to, I don't know, do something good for her friends.
You're definitely her sister.
Well, I'm only half of what she was. She
Don't
did
say
send me
yourself
away
short.
after all. I'm not as brave as she is. I'm not a fighter. She was the one who was always getting into trouble and fights. I read books, and I guess just did what I could to survive and keep her alive with me. I miss her.
Me too.
I heard though from Jack, I met him today, that she died with a smile on her face.
She did. Laughing, actually.
Really?
Yeah.
I'm glad to hear that.
Is how she lived. People tend to say they died how they lived, but Cat really did.
I'm glad. I really am. She was a good big sister, I suppose. I'm sorry I'm not her.
You don't have to be her. I'm just glad that you're okay, and that she will be happy knowing that you're okay. Knowing that what she did, she sent you away for reasons to keep you safe, and well,
I suppose it worked.
suppose so.
Capital is more safe after all.
Definitely
Seems
no.
like she had a lot of friends in the end, though. I'm glad.
A lot of us loved her. Sorry, I realized I might have interrupted you doing things. Are you in the middle of something, or?
No, I was just leaving, actually. I come here occasionally to, well, I guess, check in on her. And my mother and father. Do you hope they're all right? Do you have anyone you've lost?
Yeah, a few people.
Guess we all go through it then.
It's weird, you close your eyes and still see them sometimes. Especially Cat.
Yeah, I hope that never goes away. I don't want to forget her face or her laugh.
I'll never forget her
Anyone for
face.
that matter. I'm glad.
Especially with you around, you basically look quite similar to her. It's eerie.
Right, sorry.
Don't
We
apologize.
both kind of got our mom's looks. She more so than me. That's why she used them. But yeah, well, I'm just a bookworm.
Do you want to sit somewhere?
Sure, I suppose. I don't know. I probably shouldn't sit in the church. It's a bit rude.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of churches.
You can lead the way if you want. Don't really know any good sitting places around here. You took my bucket, you piece of shit.
I'm so sorry, I didn't realize it.
How fucking dare you? It had sweets in it, you know? Bought them
Sweets.
for my master.
Uh, How is that arrangement going?
They're selling them in the market. It's going all right. I didn't lose my job, at least. He taught me a lesson, and then that was that, I suppose.
You said
yeah,
he
I just,
sometimes treated you a little rough.
Well, that's to be expected, I think. I am here on essentially charity.
If you could call it that.
My sister did something for him. She, I don't know, back in Ledford when he visited. She did some snooping around. spine, I guess you could say, for him.
Now I see where you get it from.
And also... well, I'm not very good at it, obviously. She was the one who did all that. I just like to fill my head with stories of adventures and all that. Never be the one doing the adventuring, really. That was up her alley.
It always sounds good in books and stories, but there's a lot that they leave out.
That's what it seems like. I would like to hear stories of her one day.
We can do that now if you want. Let's go to the noble quarters.
Sure.
I told you that
It's
that's
nice
my
there.
house, right?
Hmm.
If you need me,
Duly noted.
or if you need somewhere to stay,
Thank you.
of course.
It means a lot, actually.
In fact,
Don't have many friends in the capital, actually.
those two people
It's
down
nerve-wracking
there,
being alone.
the closest to you, the one in green,
Ah, yes.
and the one with the hood, you can trust them as much as me. More friends.
Really?
Yeah.
I'm glad to hear that then. Look at that, in one day I've made 3 new friends. Well, you were already a friend, so 2. Whoa, no, 3, because I met Jack. It's exciting.
Well, you're not alone,
Knowing that-
basically.
Yes, it's
Come on.
exciting knowing I'm not alone. Guess Cat left more for me than I thought.
She really cared about you.
I know she did.
We heard about the attack on the magistrate. God, how long ago was that? Nearly a year ago now.
It was a long time ago, yeah.
She was
It was probably a
worried
year
sick
ago.
about you.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
God.
Which house is
I was
the...
lucky to get
Which house
unscathed.
do you work for? Just in case.
The magistrate? It was up there.
Okay, good to know. How about by this fountain? It looks kind of pretty.
It's a nice fountain, isn't it?
Hmm.
I always like sitting here.
Don't get to the noble quarters very often. So.
That's her.
Well, I'm kind of a bit of a street
So
rat.
what do you do, Kyler?
Officially?
Yes, what is your official job title besides street rat? I used to be a street rat. Well, kind of.
Yeah.
It's my sister, mainly. We both were, after our parents died.
What is
Just kind of had to run around the streets of Adwick. It wasn't like a big city, though, or anything.
Okay, this is being very weird. What?
Look at that, the leg.
There we go. Officially, I am a blacksmith's apprentice.
A blacksmith's apprentice? Well, that's far from a street rat, I'd say.
Well, I was born
actually-
on the streets. I'm not a very good apprentice either. It's kind of my cover, so to speak.
Your cover?
Mm.
Well, then what is your true... Gosh, I don't know. Job? Is it the street rat thing?
Yeah, more or less. Street rat, bit of this, bit of that. Adventurer, killer, thief, spy, I don't know, all of that. Kind of roll it into one and that's me. Now that I think of it, that's quite accurate of who I am in general. It's just a hodgepodge of different things. But neither here nor there. You want to hear about Cat, huh?
Sorry, my voice box seems to be dying. Yes. But I don't think it's a bad thing, the hodgepodge of stuff, you know?
I'm
People in the
unique.
best stories are always... Yes! The people in the best stories always have a hodgepodge of different things. The adventurers, the heroes.
Definitely not a hero, though, and I think your voice cut out again. tell Alexis the story of the animal, Lamau.
I swear I charged this thing before I started. I don't know what's wrong. That should do, though. I now have a battery strapped to my head. That's gonna be weird.
I'm sure we won't hang out for too much longer.
Fair enough, yes. It's, getting dark.
Mm. Yeah, not a hero, but adventurer, I would say. That counts.
Well, seems like adventurers, or the good ones, they end up being heroes in the end, no?
Maybe.
Sometimes it doesn't happen until after they die, but if you're doing good and you're an adventurer, I call that a hero. No?
Then by your loose definitions, you can call me a hero, but only you, and don't tell anyone else.
Exactly. You're like the protagonist of a book, your own book. The story of Kyler. You're your own hero of your story. That's how I like to see it.
Then I won't deny you that vision. It's interesting, you read
I like
a
imagining
lot.
all of the Ledford people as heroes. Yes,
A lot of them are, honestly.
I believe it.
It's interesting.
Yes, I read a lot. I
Kat
was a bookworm, she was the smart ass.
didn't actually know how to read when I met her.
I know.
But we actually got in contact with the local scribe, Mirandel, actually. And every day we would have lessons together.
She finally learned to read?
She finally learned how to read.
No way!
She was good at it too.
I would always read her stories. She was the older sister, but I would read the stories. I mean, granted, she did all the street stuff, but...
Maybe that's why she was so good
Wow.
at it. It was much better than me.
So you two were students together?
Yeah, that was one of the things we did together. Every day we'd have a lesson and we'd get homework, and we'd study together sometimes in the tavern.
That's amazing.
Hmm.
Huh. Who would have known?
Yeah, back then I
finally
worked
learned
at
to
the
read.
scribery with Mirandel. And Kat was kind of doing her lessons, and I originally started with me just kind of listening in. Because I was more or less
Really?
a servant. Yeah, I didn't have the money to pay for lessons or anything like that. But then
But
eventually...
you paid for them cleaning his scribery?
Well, it wasn't supposed to be an official lesson thing. It was supposed to be me watching Kat learn and maybe pick up a thing or two, but over time, I don't know, we all just kind of... It ended up being that sort of thing, like a lesson thing, you know. Everyone was taught something. We had homework and learned to write with a quill and everything, and I ruined her homework once by spilling water on it, and then ruined mine in turn.
Wow. You know, I always wanted to actually go to school and everything, but turns out she was the one who did that instead. It's amazing.
Yeah.
So yeah, a learned person, and you're an adventurer.
Oh, I still struggle
you
to
have a sword on
read.
your hip.
Yeah.
Well, that's better than most people, though.
I've been very blessed in the last year or so.
That's good.
I grew up in Gradia on the
It's
streets.
very good.
Didn't really have anything really. So, coming here and having this sort of thing is different, but
A family.
yeah. I have a very weird family though.
The best ones always are.
I have a human dad, a
Really?
uncle who's also a human, a Bjorning aunt, Let's see what else is there. I have a wolf as my child, I guess technically, a wolf pup.
That's interesting. I wouldn't have guessed that.
Triton mother.
That is an insane family. You know, I've got to say, that's probably the craziest one I've ever heard of. Even stories don't have families like that. Your life really is a storybook. It's amazing.
I have a lot of stories, but not many of them are happy, though.
Well,
I'd love to tell them to you, and you could write them in a book,
any
maybe.
good story.
You could be an author.
I would love that. That would be amazing. Oh, I can't believe it. I've always wanted to hear adventures and everything and be able to write them down, but I mean, frankly, I didn't really know many adventures except for Cat. But all our friends, you would really do that?
Of course. In fact, I could get you in contact with someone who's actually been doing exactly that. He's been writing his own book.
So there's someone who's been writing down stories.
Yeah, I'm sure he'd love to.
I'd love to read it, if
regale
anything.
them to you. I'll see if I can find
I'm
them.
not the best at writing when it comes to handwriting and all that. Copying down stories, but gosh, would I love to read his books. Especially if he actually goes into detail of all the adventures they've been on. Is he from Ledford too?
He was there on most of them.
Wow. So some of these stories might have Cat in them.
Most of them would.
My sister in an actual storybook.
Honestly, if I could
Oh my
write, I would
God.
have written a story about her a long time ago. If I could write well, I
Really?
guess I should say.
So, if you could write any story about her, what would it be?
I'm debating whether or not to tell you this one, because it's kind of...
Sad?
No, it's... He has a bit of a smirk on his face. Okay. So in Ledford, before the Empire invaded, we had a lot of scouting attacks, they were judging us, trying to get past our walls. These creatures called Servants of Ash, once elves, tortured horribly by the Empire, turned into creatures.
That's awful.
Yeah, they don't feel pain, well. But they had been probing our walls for several days and nights now. They kept trying to get over it, and as part of the militia, Cat and I would usually stay up and fight them off. I am a Drow, so I can see in the dark, and we would fight side by side together and keep them off Ledford, kind of thing. And
That's insane.
it was like the fourth night in a row where they had just kind of not even gotten over the walls, just kind of teasing, testing, trying to find that's my Bjorning aunt.
That's your Bjorning aunt.
Yeah, I don't know if we can actually hear that.
Wow.
Though.
Probably not.
They hadn't gotten over the walls, like maybe one or two, but we shoved them back pretty quickly. It was like day 4 of this. And it was the 4th day, sunset. We started hearing them moving around the outside of the palisade, and here we go again. The entire militia mobilizes. We're patrolling along the walls, and we knew they weren't gonna get over that night. Like we knew they hadn't up until this point. So Kat and I went to the tavern, bought a wine bottle, and spent an hour or so in the bathhouse, just me and her, talking, relaxing.
That's amazing. So you just said screw it and go and just drink wine and go in a bath.
Yes, I mean, it sounds bad because we're leaving people out there, but we had faith in them, and
I think that's amazing. I think that's...
That's when she told me about you, actually.
Really?
Mm.
That's a really great story, actually. Thank you. Frankly, sounds just like her.
Yeah.
She cared a lot about people, but sometimes she would just, well, throw all cares to the wind. Just enjoy life for what it is.
She was a candle in a dark room. A flame.
That's a good way to put it. It's a very good way to put it.
You see he's like welling up a bit.
You don't have to talk about this if it hurts. Sorry,
No, you deserve to know. She was your sister. And she'd want you to know too.
Thank you for telling me this.
I'll spend some time thinking. If I can come up with any more good stories, I'll definitely let you know. I'm sure there are hundreds, they just don't come to mind right now.
Of course. No, thank you for...
Oh, she saved my life once.
Really?
Well,
She
saved
saved
my
your
life
life?
a few times, but one time in specific. It was another attack.
Didn't realize she was that good of a fighter.
I wasn't even fighting this time, actually, now that I think about it. It was another attack, Servants of Ash.
So what did you do? Okay.
We were trying to figure out what these things were. This was right at the start, and we laid an ambush for them, thinking we could catch them in a valley. And I positioned myself up with a bunch of guardsmen on a ridge line, looking down into this valley. They were crossbowmen. We thought we could get the drop on them and maybe try and figure out a little bit more about them. Well, they got the drop on us, and they found us before we could get to them. I was cornered by one of them, and they put a spear through my leg and nicked an artery.
Oh my God.
Unfortunately, I was very unlucky.
That's bad.
They then rolled me down a
Bleed out
hill.
quickly like that.
Well, I nearly did. I limped/crawled my way back to the wall, and who was there? Cat and Tarek. They started to walk me to the tavern, at which point I passed out. And I assume they dragged me. I don't know how else I could have gotten there. And while I was there, he starts to undo his belts on his boot. Cat tried her hand at stitching me up. He shows her the scar where it nicked the artery and the bad stitch job that Cat did.
Oh my God, she didn't. She has never been good at healing. Why did she try? Oh God.
Well,
she hasn't even read a single healing book at all. And I'm sorry. That looks terrible.
I wear it with pride. If not for her, if not for Tarek.
That's impressive. She even tried.
Well, she did that, and when that didn't work out exactly as well as it expected, she went and got the surgeon, who in turn saved my life.
Well, that's good at least. Thank God you had an actual professional do it.
Honestly.
Who's this Tarek person, by the way?
Tarek was a bard. He worked at the tavern along with Kat.
Okay.
They became close. And I became close with Tarek. He was my best friend.
See.
Unfortunately,
So he's no longer around either.
he landed in the hands of some people that didn't want him around anymore. We thought he was dead. During that time, Kat and I got pretty close. I cared for Tarek, and I knew he would have wanted her to be okay, so I took it upon myself to look after her and try and keep her on a good path. I didn't want her to go down a path of vengeance or pain or something. I wanted her to still be her. I wanted her to be bubbly. I wanted her to be carefree, smiling, determined everything. So I was gently nudging her to keep her from straying from that. And we ended up getting
I see.
quite close after that. Then during a certain adventure where we had to go near the border, well, I couldn't really go with them, being a drow and such. They needed to blend in with humans. So she and my, at the time, surrogate father left to check out what was going on in that city. And who do they find there but Tarek? He came back.
Really?
He was alive. We brought him back and, well, Kat and Tarek had a bit of a falling out. Some details I can spare you, but I stayed close to Kat to make sure she was okay during the time, and, you know. Then, during another mission, Kat was wounded. She was being carried away by another one of our friends, getting her to safety, when something attacked her from behind. And had Tarek not put himself in between it and her, she would have died instead of him.
I see.
And that was the last thing he did. The last words he spoke to me were... The last words he spoke was, "Keep her safe." Made me promise it. I thought he was referring to Kat. But well, I took it upon myself regardless. I promised him that I would keep her safe.
I'm glad you did.
Not well enough.
Thank you. Well, from what you told me before, seems like that's just part of adventuring now. It's a risk she was willing to take. You loved her, didn't you? I can tell by the way you talk about it all.
Yeah. Like no one else.
I'm glad she had someone who loved her.
She
always wanted that.
She told me she loved me. And I was scared. I haven't had good experiences with that stuff. I didn't manage to say it to her.
I'm sure she knew. You said you kept her safe and you talked her out of a path of vengeance, keeping her light. You know, her favorite types of books that I would read to her were romance books. She always liked the stories where two people fall in love. But she liked even more was the bittersweet ones.
Yeah, well.
But always, even though the story was sad and maybe someone died, they always knew deep down. At least in the stories. I can only assume it was the same for her.
Still, I would have liked to have told her. You know?
I understand. It's nice to say loud, right?
I always struggle with that. Those 3 words.
Saying things aloud?
No.
Ah.
The L word's a big one. I don't know. I don't know why. I don't know why some words. Why does you're smarter? Why do some words have more meaning and power than others? I don't get it.
Well, the common language basically is just a series of our general feelings, anyways, just put into words. My body, for example, is fucking broken. Come on, can you not be fucking dumb while I'm having a good fucking moment? Anyways, well, as I was saying, since it's been a piece of shit, fucker, the common language is an interesting one, and, you know, we associate words with different feelings, and sometimes, fuck! We're good! Innocent little girl. Anyways,
so we associate feelings and sometimes
feelings with words. Yes. I never said that. That's ridiculous. That was Cat's thing. Anyways, right. So we associate feelings with words, and sometimes if you don't feel, well, no, if you aren't told a specific word often, even though you feel it, it can be hard to say it. Does that make sense? I don't know, it's hard to explain.
I think so.
If you're told that you are loved a lot, it makes it easier. It makes it less important. Not that it isn't important, but it makes it less difficult to say, you know? Let's say you have a mother who's always there saying, I love you, I love you, I love you. It's easier to say, I love you back. But when you lack that, it's difficult to express it. Does it make sense?
Definitely. Makes total sense. You definitely are learned.
It's okay if you can't say it, you know. It can be hard.
I wanted to.
If anything, it just means that when you do say it, it's all the much more special.
Yeah. I just didn't know how to process it. I told her we can talk about that when we get back.
Oh, forgive me. I didn't realize I was intruding on anyone. Didn't think anyone was here. Oh my.
And she didn't come back.
I see.
It was confusing times.
I mean, it's understandable. But when things like that are thrown at you and you haven't processed it yourself, it's hard to, you know, come to terms with it all. Not that I really shouldn't be giving love advice. I'm, well, very inexperienced, especially compared to her. I read it in books, but I've read a lot of books, so I'd like to say I am learned about it, just not practiced.
You have the book smarts.
So that's why I feel like I can give you advice. Yes, exactly.
Right. You and I are very polar
But
opposites.
it seems like... Are we?
I am the opposite
That's
of that. I'm not very learned about that sort of thing, though I've...
Oh,
You know
but
what?
you're experienced.
You know what? Yeah, anyway.
Did you... You know, I don't want to ask that. I want to know.
Good.
Okay. Anyways.
You know...
I know my sister was a flirt, and it's fine. I'm aware of it, and I understand. However, she doesn't say I love you to many people, so...
Yeah.
If she said it to you, that means she really meant it.
I like to think I'm different.
You are. Judging by what you've told me, at least. I mean, gods, she managed to actually learn to read. You were there too.
Mm.
She told you about me. She even told you she loves you. It's not something that she says often either.
Mm. I see a lot of her in you, honestly. Not just the face and stuff. I see the
Really?
spark. Yeah. Determination, the
Well, that's good to know.
sense of adventure.
I always thought her and I were pretty polar opposites, to be honest.
You
She
are,
was the
but you
adventurous
aren't.
one, I was the bookworm.
If that makes sense.
That's fair, I suppose.
Different, but the same.
Superficial things that are different, but the inside, that's the same.
Mm. The heart.
Makes sense. Well, we are sisters. A few years apart, but after our parents died, all we had was each other.
Mm.
Then shortly after, well, not entirely shortly after, but several years after, she, bargained me away to get me out of there. Think she knew things were gonna change.
I hope you don't hate her for that.
I don't, actually. I really don't. I know all she did was try to protect me, everything she did. It hurt, but I knew she was doing what she felt was right.
She usually did that.
Seems like you're the same.
Road to damnation
Good she
and all
loved
that.
someone like you. Aren't we all? I mean, hell. Inquisitions on us. Imperials, all of them. Maybe we'll see it sooner than we think, but I just hope that one day I'll get to see them all again, you know?
Yeah.
That's all I can hope for.
I'll keep you safe until then.
Thank you.
Of course. Speaking of which,
But I don't want to keep you.
a lady like you should not be up this late.
I am not a lady. That's my master's wife. Wives.
Sorry, a young lady like you. How about that? The more, less official term.
Yes, and I should be getting back.
Mm-hmm.
Got the sweets and everything I need, and really don't want to be in trouble, so...
No, you know where to find me if you need me, Alexis.
Yes. Thank you, Kyler. Truly. Thank you.
Good night.
Good night.
Ouch.
Was that?
Yeah. Yes, it was, Tarek. I know she isn't, you know, who you made me promise for, but I'm going to either way.
Why would I stop you?
Because you can be very stubborn sometimes. I'm kidding.
Do you think I would ever be mad at you for wanting
No, it was a jest. A jest.
Oh. Of course, of course.
And I know you're gonna help me, aren't you?
Every step of the way.
Good. We're gonna keep her safe, okay?
Together.
And tomorrow I'll check on Lisa. Make sure she's okay too.
Hey, Kyler.
Yeah, buddy.
If you're feeling warm, just know not alone.
Feels like that sometimes, but I know you're there.
My expense is time to get armor, if you can believe it.
That's going to cost you far more.
I'm sending every cookies I can. Want to have that? Maybe then I get some.
I don't envy someone in the business of trying to procure armor. That is one thing that I am very blessed to have.
I think I get it now.
Pricey thing.
But on my way to becoming worthy,
What?
Need myself a good suit of armor.
You remember one of our first interactions I asked about honor and keeping an oath?
I had read stories about a knight who fights for humanity in all the right regards.
Yeah, I get it.
I would love to live that tale if I could, even if it takes my life.
Looks good on you.
I do not want to see someone of such caliber fall into the deadly trap.
It's new and scary, but
You do not
trying to do right by it.
plate to live the life and tales of a knight. Why not go for half plate, quarter
I
Full plate is simply unnecessary.
will likely have to keep mine,
Yes, of course.
as I always do.
Have you ever met?
Right now I'm
Sir
trying to
Johann
discern he's in the
Lichtenauer?
dungeon. He's in the tower.
Never heard of him.
In the castle, apparently.
Where I'm
Sir
going.
Johann Lichtenauer. A man who stood even shorter than me.
According to Commander Osgood,
There was no armor that could fit Sir Johann
well,
Lichtenauer.
he's gonna keep me posted.
Even a helmet. So you know what
If he hears
did?
anything, he's gonna let me
Put
know.
on a coif. He put on a little bit of chain.
But that's cool Skigga to give on a prayer
on his back and
for
picked up a
Mithrax.
big club.
Mm.
And he saved an entire town from a pack of
We will see if it'll be allowed.
by sheer might and sheer
Smart.
skill, because he was a knight. You do not have to be
Look at where he is.
ironclad genius or a hero of massive stature to be a
I think
knight.
he's
It's
up
a
there, though.
lifestyle. It is not a skill, it is a lifestyle. Keep that in mind.
I will.
If we need to get him, we'll get him.
Yes, very good. Now, if you
Oh.
still want to
But to
acquire
do that, you need to be
more
well
bread, I
rested
can't
and not
translate
sore
you.
or tired.
If
So
Ferret is comfortable
make sure you
knowing
look
that I'm
after
not
yourself
going to
too.
die at every interaction with a blade.
What about
It is
just a
nice.
breastplate then?
A breastplate will
What?
protect you just plenty, just fine. If I could make a personal recommendation,
I'm gonna get some
breastplate,
sleep, okay?
helmet,
Alright.
greaves.
Come here. Come on, nephew.
Give you everything you need.
There's one for the night.
Gloves as well. Never
Rest well.
mess up gloves. Your
I'll make sure to
hands
put a nice glass of milk next to your bed.
Oh, thank you so much. You know how I love my glasses of milk.
gloves, greaves, and helmet. Everything else is
Say goodnight to Yosa for me.
Well, I'm getting my gambeson done.
Oh well.
Now.
Good night, Kyler.
Good night.
Garrison is a good thing, a good start. You are not a fool. Marcus the worthwhile in that much.
She's okay.
Thank you.
In case you're wondering.
Yes, of course. Well, I'm just an old man. Prodigy,
Fine, love.
old.
How much money would I need for your training once I do?